So, spawning down in our southern position here as our blue Zerg, we do indeed have Yekke. And spawning up in the top right-hand corner here as our red Zerg, we have Liquid Zeno. I am very, very happy to have a little bit of ZVZ here to kick things off. Our first ZVZ. Did they cast some ZVZ? I think so, right?
No, they had a TVT and PVZ.
A TVT?
Yeah. TVT, yes.
Oh, wow, okay. A rare sight here in
yeah,
you
don't see that too often.
And indeed, we are on Daybreak for our first map. So, for now, ZVZ on this map, generally you will see quite a lot of hatchery firsts, but I think more often than not nowadays, it has gone into that spawning pool first quite a lot, just because people feel like a little uncomfortable about certain openers. And even still, like 15 pool is a legitimately good economic build opener because of the timing that you actually get your queen out. So
yeah, I mean, that's what the Zergs use against Protoss, for example, as well, in almost every map, and I don't think they're really far behind from... I mean, hedge first would have been always better, but with a 15 pool, that's still okay.
Yeah.
And Yekke, right?
Yeah. Yekke
is going for hedge first.
Yeah.
15 hedge. While Zeno, as you said, is going to make the pool. I think it was at 14 maybe, because it's already halfway done here.
Just pretty standard pool timing here from Zeno. So, I mean, this opens up a little bit more of a possibility of some aggression for him to a certain degree. But actually, I mean, Yekke's being a little bit... it was like got one drone between that. So his spawning pool's significantly delayed here in comparison to his opponents. But it will be getting speed at what will be a relatively similar time because of the gas timings. So,
yeah, that's true. And what I realized, or like I'm not like this, the guy who understands ZVZ the most, but what I realized whenever I watch this matchup, that speed links, if you get them earlier, they don't really help you too much most of the time, because your opponent will block off the ramp with a queen and some Zerglings, and then your speed will not really help you. Obviously, if you go for a super aggressive build, you need speed, or sometimes there's this build where you only get Zerglings and try to kill your opponent because he was too greedy to get a few Banelings. But apart from that, the earlier speed usually does not help you too much.
Yeah, you see a lot of mounting up of like a ton of Zergling rounds all the time, like in terms of, you know, just hiding a lot of Zerglings and being able to keep them, you know, like hidden for a very, very long period of time, to the point where you just flood across the map and your opponent just basically doesn't have enough lava at all to actually compete with that. But that comes at a massive risk, of course. And both players here, as you can see, speed at almost exactly the same time. So despite the pool disparities in timings, and despite the gas of being a little bit slower for Yekke, the way in which it works out is very, very negligible.
Yeah, and they both still have 3 drones in gas. They didn't pull off the drones right away. So as you said, speed is almost the same, or will be finished at the same point, but they also still gather gas, and getting the Baneling nest, at least Zeno gets a Baneling nest. And yeah, let's see if he tries to be aggressive with that, or if he just gonna morph like 2 or 3 Banelings to be in a good spot to defend all kind of all-ins.
I wouldn't be surprised if he actually wanted to go for something a little more aggressive. I mean, he's droning up right now, and that's fine, but you know, testing the waters in a ZVZ against someone just that you would assume is a lower caliber than you in a ZVZ best of 3 is something that can happen quite a lot. In a similar way to, you know, how we were saying, well, you know, testing, you're just going for your safe standard build in game 1 is normal in other matchups. This matchup, early on, you're testing your opponent's micro. You're testing how much they can do with that. So, we'll see.
And we do see a very, very nice wall here from Yekke. He can pull his queen into the last gap here, and then it's almost full wall off. Of course, the Lynx could run around the hedge, but that's very nice to see. And the first Zerglings from Zeno running across the map.
And they have been spotted already.
Yeah,
so.
And he's making drones behind it. 7 more drones and the Spinecrawler, so he's just gonna poke in, try to scout what is my opponent doing. And as I said, this wall will help Yekke really well to defend any kind of aggression here.
Yeah, he just wants to force Zerglings, he just wants to force army production at this point in time. So odd place to actually try and morph some Banelings in, but meanwhile we have the layer on the way here for both players. Yekke just a little bit ahead, but again, you know, I think ultimately, you know, Zeno did what he needed to do there. He made 8 Zerglings, he forced 12 Zerglings from his opponent, and gained just a very small lead for a second before he actually throws down his Roach War and Evolution Chamber. So both players still kind of level pegging, and he kept his opponent on his toes for a sec.
Yeah, the only thing what really happened from this, I think Yekke was supply blocked because of that for a short period of time, because he felt the pressure, had to make some more units, and therefore he was supply blocked for a second. But the drone count is very equal. It's 43 to 45. So both players are on the same amount of drones, same amount of bases, just 2 bases and the lair tech. We do see, wait, there is not really a tech so far from...
just breaking down rocks, just kind of clearing up paths, making it a little easier to actually reinforce across the map if he so desires. And for now, just the infestation pit was on the way for Yekke.
Yeah,
so
was a little bit delayed. He does see the 3rd base of Zeno getting up. And yeah, supplies are very even. I mean, nothing really happened so far. Yekke has an overseer flying across the main base of Zeno. He didn't see the tech route yet. There's still a changeling also in the base, so he can scout for a while here. It's very good to see.
Yeah, doing a pretty good job there. Meanwhile, Baneling's actually poking forward, so Yekke's 3rd, and the Zerglings are going to try and go for that. And this is where really things start to get interesting on this map, at least. Where denying 3rd bases, trying to go for some kind of counterattacks where they may. Right now, neither player really committing too much to it, but these roaches actually are a bit more of a committal than I was expecting.
Yeah.
So,
but Yekke is getting 4 roaches as well. And the Infestor upgrade is already on the way. So if he does not lose all his Zerglings to the Banelings here, he should be in a decent position. Yeah, good explosions there. Oh, there's one more Baneling!
Oh, that one Baneling could have been absolutely clutch there!
Okay.
That one Baneling is zoning out so well right now. He splits off a few Zerglings here to still start nibbling. He doesn't want any more damage to be done to this hatch. This one Baneling is crucial, but those 2 roaches will now shoo it away. And Yekke, good defense actually. Pretty good.
But really good control from Zeno as well. Wow, all the Zerglings, they did have +1 armor, so they didn't die.
Yeah. Nice.
But still, he's losing a lot of Zerglings here. And let's see, the Infestor upgrades, well, yeah. Yekke is getting more roaches. He should have started a few Infestors. There we go. First one is on the way. Second one, 3rd. Yeah. So this will help him against Zeno, who's still on the aggressive side here.
Yeah.
He's still rallying up roaches.
He's
Do you think this will work?
He's cranking out quite a lot of roaches. If you could say, for example, it depends entirely on how many roaches are actually going to get out across there. He can't reinforce quickly enough to actually still continue putting pressure on this 3rd, unless for some reason he could really whittle down his opponent's numbers, but there's very little chance of that right now. He needs his Infestors over there, ideally, but Yekke will still have his Infestors out in time. He could snipe the hatch with some Roach sacrifices, and because he has 3 hatch off the back of it, he can still keep a very nice defense. But I mean, it's a little bit of a gamble. You don't know how many units are coming out for your opponent at any given time.
Yeah, and Yekke is getting ahead in upgrades here. He does have the armor upgrade, and he's getting +1 missile attacks, while Zeno... okay, there we go. He just started his 2nd attack upgrade. Was delayed for a bit here. And both players do have Infestors, so it's pretty tough to attack sometimes.
Yeah.
If you try to get up a ramp or...
Unless this is the hot beta, eventually, at some point.
Yeah,
damn
see
psionic.
what happens to the Infestors, because Blizzard just shared some thoughts on changing fungal growth.
Musings, yes.
But we will see. Nothing being official yet, or nothing being like for sure in the next patch.
Yeah.
And Zeno's running across the map with a lot of roaches, and Yekke has really good overload spread, so he knows everything. If he gets a good... he tries to get a fungal of the roaches, and... Wow, this is so risky by Zeno. Imagine if he would have caught one really good fungal here.
Yeah, that would have been a ton of roaches actually dead. He would have ended up trying to shoo the Infestors away with a few other roaches, but still very, very risky, you're right.
And Yekke had his roaches in position as well, so that was definitely a really risky move. Nothing really happened, but could have been a deadly fungal there. We do see Yekke has 1-1, is getting +2 upgrade right now in his Evo chamber. So
it really seems that Yekke's ZVZ, I mean, it's standing toe-to-toe with Zeno right now. He's not really too far behind in anything. He's behind him +2 a little bit, but he's getting a lot of Hydras out as well.
Yep.
So
I mean, it's 1-1 against 1-0, so it's going to be 2-0 against 1-1. Infested Terrans did kill the Overseer here of Zeno. And as you said, the Hydralisks are on the way for Yekke, but also for Zeno. So both are going to be maxed out in a few seconds. We do have 200 supply. What did you see?
I don't know. I always get excited when I see pneumatized Carapace, and I'm thinking, is Vengeful Sax really going to follow that up? But probably not.
No, I don't. I think it's going to be.
It would have been very odd.
Speed, yeah.
Although you can see people end up dropping like portions of their army into the main and trying to be annoying.
Yeah. If you drop some Infestors and then you throw a lot of X, you're gonna get guaranteed a lot of tech tree, which gonna be falling down, or maybe even the Hive. And both players are actually moving out at the same time. But Yekke is falling back. He did lose his overlords on the top side, so he doesn't have too much side anymore. And now Zeno is obviously walking underneath one of them.
Yeah, not to the best option. He will be spotted and loses
one Infestor in the middle of the map getting picked off here.
Well, pathing.
Yeah. So.
And look at this. Zeno is actually going up to Hive now. Now, if this game goes into a bit even more of a passive stage where we're just seeing both players going up to Hive and stuff like that, and getting Spires, etc. What we're going to end up seeing is we're going to end up seeing Broodlord Infestor versus Broodlord Infestor potentially. And if you end up seeing that,
I cannot dream of anything else. Like, no, I'm just like broodlings killing broodlings.
Yeah,
like,
but it gets
even
no, it gets even worse than that, Hasu. I need to inform you here, because generally what happens in ZVZ is people focus on Carapace and range upgrades. Now what happens when you have broodlings versus broodlings with all Carapace upgrades but no melee upgrades?
They deal 1 damage.
They just don't die ever. It takes so long for anything to happen.
I'm looking forward to that.
I hope it happens in this game so you can see the marvel
I hope it happens.
Broodlord in ZVC.
We did see the perfect timing of the Hive and of the Spire at Yekke, and on the other side we do see 2 Spires going up, a little bit delayed though, but Xenio's once again running across the map. Actually what he does here, he's stopping Yekke from getting a 5th base up.
He is, yeah, you're right, entirely.
On the other side of the map we do see, the 2 additional gases being taken from Zeno. He does have a lot of spine crawlers, and Zeno wants to run in here, but I don't think it's a good idea.
I'm slightly surprised Zeno is actually investing in +3 weapons whilst he's got his double Spires on the way. I mean, the Roaches are going to get traded here, that's fine. Both players are just going to re-max out. They've got plenty of bank. I suppose, yes, it will end up benefiting his army eventually, and then he trades it and gets a bit more of a cost-efficient trade. And I guess, in essence, that cost-efficient trade could add up quite easily to the, like, 300 that, like, the +3 costs, right? So,
yeah,
it's not too bad.
And both players have to get rid of some of their supplies, so the Roach is running across the map. Yekke will get a few drones here, I guess so at least, if he's not focusing the spine crawler, okay.
Or he wants a spine.
Okay, yeah, but now he's getting a few drones, I mean, which is definitely okay.
And meanwhile, Greater Spires on the way here with 6 Corruptors now in production for Zeno, so he is going up to those Broodlords quite quickly. But I think the problem is getting here for Zeno is that he isn't actually getting his Carapace upgrades as aggressively as Yekke. So Yekke could actually be in a pretty good spot here.
Because his Broodling's gonna be stronger?
Yes.
You kidding me?
I mean...
Oh no, the Infestors are running... Okay. Zeno didn't see that. Now on the other side of the map, like in the middle of the map, that's not a good fight for Zeno. Yeah, he tries to sneak by with his Roaches down here, but some good fungal should probably prevent...
He locks down enough there. Yeah. 2 more Roaches, I mean, they're not really going to do too much as long as 1 or 2 of the Hydras actually fall back.
But he will cancel the 5th up here with a handful of Roaches. That's a very nice job by Zeno. Splitting the army, and yeah, it's not even a cancel, it's just gonna die.
Yeah, right now we're seeing Yekke have way more of a bank than Zeno, but that's because Zeno's happier to trade and get his Corruptors out quicker than his opponent.
Oh yeah.
So right now, I mean, he has more Corruptors, he has 6 out as opposed to the 0 for his opponent, and now he can start morphing in the Broodlords if he desires, which is a bit scary. And a nice little poke in here from Zeno, actually. A nice transfuses, though, by Yekke. And trying to keep this alive, but he's just not bringing his army back quick enough. Actually, he's just got so many transfuses to his disposal, but it's still going to go down. So a nice pick up by Zeno.
And actually, yeah, you're right. There were so many transfuses. Let's have a look. Okay, his lava count is still good. So that won't be an issue the later stages of the game.
94 drones to 65? Oh my god.
Yeah, that might be...
That might be a little bit overkill here for Zeno. But he has more Broodlords.
But how come... It's still 38 roaches to only 3 of Zeno.
Oh, wow.
So Yekke definitely has to get rid of his roaches here, at least some of them. Let's say like 15, I guess, to rebuild Corruptors and Broodlords. And like the really big thing here is that Zeno has spines everywhere, while we don't see a single spine. Okay, he just now started to make spines, but Zeno has them in place already and has his bases secured really well.
And
he's getting rid of the Hydras.
Yekke's actually mixing in an Ultralisk Cavern with this. Now, there is a little bit of debate as to how effective the Ultralisk Cavern is in Infestor Broodlord versus Infestor Broodlord. Some would say not so much, but it can cleave down in Broodlords quite quickly. I haven't seen the dynamic too much, so I can't really call it until we see it, but still just aggression going on everywhere. I mean, Yekke just wants to trade this, right?
Yeah,
that's all he's doing.
He's wasting supply. I'm not really sure if it was smart to waste the Hydralisks here. Maybe you should rather get rid of the roaches.
It depends. I mean, like, because you have Fungal in this Infested Broodlord, you lock down Hydralisks so quickly and they die so quickly to Fungals anyway because they don't have that much health. So I think it just gets to the point where you go Infested Broodlord with lots of Corruptors. Because as soon as you kill your opponent's Broodlords, and then if you kill the Corruptors, then you sort of just have all the free reign in the entire match.
So yeah, basically what we see here, Yekke has 12 Infestors, Zeno has 12 Infestors, it's 9 against 7 Broodlords, and yeah, it's gonna be very beautiful here. I hope David Kim is watching.
I need +3 armor to be on the way for Yekke, and then +3 armor on the way for Zeno as well, so we can have this glorious battle complete in just a little bit.
Once again, a few roaches up here. So Zeno is doing a really good job with the roaches all the time. And the big fight in the middle, well, it's really hard to... I mean, it's really hard for a Protoss or a Terran to engage this army, but I think it's ZVZ, because both have exactly the same units, it's almost impossible to engage.
A lot of some infested Terrans. Like, why?
But the Corruptor's gonna get fungled here.
Yeah, nice fungal. If he actually kills off quite a lot of the... that was a really nice fungal, actually. He's caught so many of those Corruptors. He shouldn't be wasting these Corruptors as willy-nilly as he is doing right now.
But you can't fly away once you get fungaled.
That's true. And he doesn't have that much of a bank as well, so he should definitely not have been getting hit by all of those fungals. Having that weak a Corruptor count here right now, if in comparison to your opponent, in terms of his Corruptor count, can be a little bit dicey.
He just flew in once again, so...
He's got 20 Corruptors.
Yeah, but... a lot of them being fungled, and he should try to change his position because some of the Broodlords are exposed in the top here.
Oh, another great fungal hit by Zeno. Yekke is just being really, really impatient with his movements forwards here. He could have just kept poking with his Broodlords, but right now he's losing way more Corruptors than he should do. And look at this, with that remax out that Zeno can go for with his bank, Yekke's going to be in a terrible, terrible position.
Yeah. I'm really impressed that Zeno is so far ahead in the supply count right now. His fungal killed so many Corruptors, and both are just throwing eggs and Broodlings killing each other. But as you said, yeah, Zeno gonna be ahead because he can remax quicker. It's 200 against 150. The air upgrades for Zeno kicking in. It's 1-1 against only +1 so far, and he's getting. Look at this, he's getting +2 attack already and +2 armor. So his Broodlords and especially the Corruptor is going to be very, very strong.
Yeah, it's like, it's the mentality of Yekke had, well, he didn't have more Broodlords to begin with, but because he was going for 1 Spire, he never really pits himself to go into the super late game of ZVZ, where you're getting 2 Spires, you're getting cranking out double upgrades from all the time. So Yekke kind of needed to make something happen a little bit before, kind of morphing his Broodlords a little bit quicker, because both players had the Hive around at the same time. So the longer this goes on, just Zeno ends up getting in a really, really nice spot. So Yekke kind of misses his timings.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. So Zeno has 2 upgrades now, he's pushing in, he does have a lot of Corruptors against only 2 of them, and the Queens don't help Yekke anymore. He doesn't have the energy for any fungal, and infested Terrans obviously don't help too much in this scenario. So yeah,
there you go, GG. There was just like green and blood.